Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second International Conference on Education, Social Science, and Engineering 2021. My name is Fazle Rafi, and I'm the graduate student at Curriculum Studies Department in University of Saskatchewan. It has been an honor among such accomplished individuals to be able to present my perspective before you all. My research topic is quite related to the science education and how the science education is affected during the COVID-19 pandemic. My research title is something like that, the effect of technology integrated instructions on science teachers' practices, self-efficacy beliefs, and attitudes in COVID-19 pandemic. Let's see the context through which I was interested and which led me to focus on this research topic. Generally, we know that the COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way of teaching, and teachers are to modify their teaching pedagogies with incorporating technology and distance education approaches in teaching science. In particularly, the science teachers, adopt some simulation-based activities, more interactive activities in order to support their inquiry approaches. Many teachers have to develop their technological abilities and skills to support their learning. This led my focus that how these technological transformations have challenged and changed teachers' practices during COVID-19 pandemic. Let's see the theoretical framework of the study, and we have three major domains of the teacher's practices, teacher's self-efficacies, and also teacher's attitudes. We also have some subdomains like in teacher's practices, we are going to see the planning and preparation, teacher's instructional approaches, classroom management, professional responsibilities, and how these subdomains are affected due to these transformational change during COVID-19. We also investigate, interested to investigate about the teacher's self-efficacies in terms of performance outcomes, verbal persuasions, vicarious experiences, also the emotional states. At the same time, we are interested to know about how teachers' attitudes in terms of their cognitive responses, affective responses, and behavioral intentions are affected due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Purpose of this study aims to identify the changes that have occurred to in-service science teachers' practices during COVID-19 pandemic, and what challenges do they experience or foresee in employing such approaches, and how these transformation has influenced their COVID, in teachers' self-efficacies, and also their attitude towards the change in the context of pandemic. Based on the theoretical framework, we developed three questions, and these three questions are for how teachers' practices changed in response to COVID-19 pandemic in terms of their instruction, classroom management, and professional responsibilities. How teachers' perception of their self-efficacy have been changed by the experience of COVID-19 pandemic, if so how, and how teachers' attitudes altered toward the change and technological transformation over the time during COVID-19 pandemic. In order to investigate these questions, we will develop a mixed method design approach where 50% participants will be selected from rural and urban schools in Saskatchewan. It will be a sample in stratified sampling process who have been using a form of technology-led instructions before or during COVID-19 pandemic. And this approach will be also accompanied with a qualitative and quantitative questionnaires. In methods, we are going to use the 4 stages procedures. In first stage, The initial instruments will be sent to the experts who are working in the field of science and technology-based education to determine its phase and content validity. Based on their opinions, some questions will be removed, especially the complex and the irrelevant questions. Then a pilot study will be conducted with 10 volunteer science teachers to establish its internal consistency and reliability. Afterwards, the survey instrument will be developed, which will contain 25 questions of 5-point Likert scales. Semi-structured interview will be conducted on few participants uh, in order to gain the in-depth knowledge about their practices, their attitudes, also their self-efficacy beliefs. In data analysis, the collected data will be analyzed through the softwares of IBM SPSS, and for interviews we will use the NVivo software. And survey analysis will be done by the descriptive statistics procedures and inferential statistics like ANOVA and the t-test pairwise comparison analysis with time as an independent variable and changes in teachers' practices, self-efficacy, and teachers' attitude as an independent variable. In interview questions using the NVivo software, we will do an inductive and thematic analysis methods by identifying and evaluating and making a theme expressed by participants. The implication of the study is widespread, and we think that this study can contribute to the teachers as well as the learning designers and designing the digital learning frameworks. And also, the study results can be used to implement a more flexible digital instructional approach. It can also be used to gain the teacher's technological readiness during the COVID-19 pandemic. Future researchers are also, recommended to examine and develop the appropriate curriculum model for the students of diverse background. Interested researchers are also, recommended to use and design an attainable model in the learner's level of limited capacity restricted by the social distancing. These are the references which I used for the study. At the end, I find this paper very interesting, and should you have any questions, please communicate to the email address given below, and I will be happy to share my knowledge and my perspective with you more. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.